39 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, September 26th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. Ring Thane, welcome in. I appreciate that. I appreciate you as well, my friend. Mark Casson, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3 months plus with the XRP Meteor. So as everybody gets in here, that's going to be in here. We have quite the situation here. XRP is teasing or taunting an epic breakout of epic proportions. JW, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for well over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. How do you, my friend? UK Phil, good evening, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XP Predictor. Jeffrey, welcome in. Trading with J-Ride, thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XP 589 Moon badge. Angel, good evening. George, Jorge, welcome in. George, thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months along with Mo with the XRP Predictor. Thank you both so much. Rob and CJ2 Pilot, thank you both also for being part of Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. John Hall, good evening and welcome in, my brother. Hopefully you're having a blessed evening so far. Peter Biltz, good evening. The Gatman, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon badge. Smitty, good evening, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. And I know it's your first month because that's my face superimposed on that emoji badge. I kid you. Ed, welcome in. My body is ruddy, but my mind isn't right now. Like, it's ruddy, it's vibrant, it just has not got that burst of energy. And the closer we get to the end of the month, the closer we get to that Ripple unlock of 1 billion more from escrow, the more dicey it gets. The more dicey indeed. If you have B2 gold, you're feeling great today. It was up. So we'll continue to monitor that as it's my #1 holding. It's tied to my heart. I kid you not. Bill, welcome in. Chad Summerfield, good evening from the Canada, eh? Just my brethren from the north. Roach, good evening. Jamal, welcome in. The Gatman says hit that like button. Indeed, I definitely need the likes. It'll help us push this content through the algorithm. And then when everyone's searching through the YouTube news feed, they'll be able to watch my content. A simple like, but so very hard to convince someone to do it. But XRP right now, the main thing that we're discussing here is that XRP continues to tease a epic breakout, and it continues to increase that possibility and likelihood by being over this short-term consolidation. We already know that XRP has bounced over that 2018 resistance, which is that downtrending blue line. That's what that is. And we'll go back in the Wayback Machine here, just in case we have anybody who's new. And we'll take a look at what we've been building here. So if we go all the way back here, that's back in January of 2018. On the highest it got on some exchanges was 380 plus. On this particular exchange, it was 331, and that was resistance 1. 27 months later, we got down to 10.8 cents in March of 2000. Let's see, what was that? March of 2020, I believe it was. Yep, March of 2020 was the first support. Support 2 was down at about 18.2 cents, and that happened to hit down here in about January of 21. We hit resistance 2 at $1.98. April of 2021. All of you know I started my channel in March of 21, and we made a bunch of money on that push up. It was phenomenal. 30 cents, support 3, and that was January of 2023. Resistance 3 is where it starts to get interesting. That confirms the pattern in March of 2024. And guys and gals, this has been going on since January of 2018, remember. So now we're starting to tighten and consolidate here. We had support 4 down here in July of this year at 40 cents. We had resistance 4 up here for a short time period, but we did get a resistance 4 in August of this year. Now we're trying to use support for the first time on top of this downtrending resistance, September of 24. As of right now, it's held strong. Now the speculation here is, can it come up to 62.73, or is it still not strong enough and it has to come back down to that downtrending line? That's the question. Messi says everything is pumping except XRP. I mean, I don't know if I would consider that to be such a true statement. XRP's up about, it's up about 1.5% right now. You've got most things up between 3 and 5%. I don't think it's a very far cry to say XRP's on par with most. Now you've got Gala that's up 9.3. You've got Velo that's up 7.5. You've got Shiba that's up about 20, 23. You got some other ones that are up 8.6, like Doge. But in relation to the rest of the market, I would say it's on par for the most part. Now, it does seem to be lagging. There's no doubt about that. It does seem to be lagging, but I just think it's because when XRP moves, it requires a substantial amount of capital. So generally XRP will run on its own or after most have already done their duty, because then what ends up happening is the ones who are pushing it end up selling out of those other projects and push this. To me, it looks like it's going to rally. As long as we don't break back below that 58.6, I think we're looking really good. Really good. For that technical move up to that 62.7 cents. Wow, Jeremy! Thank you so much for the $20 donation. That is incredibly generous. He says, keep up the good fight. Wow. I can't believe you sent 20 bucks tonight. That is unbelievable. There is no greater inspiration than when somebody's willing to spend their hard-earned money on something that you've created all on your own. It's incredible. With no actual training at that. Rick, welcome in, and thanks for being a very trusted mod in Tom's, in my community. For the members of Tom's Army as well, and everybody who watches, we all appreciate you, Rick. Thank you so much. Man and his dog, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3 months plus with the XRP Meteor. XRP stands alone. Indeed, it does. Brian says, Canada in the house, eh? Love my Canadian brothers and sisters. Love it. Love it. Trading with J-Rod, XRP is usually the last move. Yes, it is. And thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 3 years. You see that, everybody? That's the XRP Diamond Hands badge. You have to be in Tom's Army for 3 years. That was just released a few months ago for the 3rd year. Wow, that's incredible. Incredible. I thank you for that unbelievably long-standing support. That's amazing. Roach, Tom, check out SUI. The wormhole is the bridge protocol for SU. The Fed's using SU. Now, my brain might not be able to function on that tonight, but I'm very interested in reading that.
Your brain can't function at all.
Nope. But we have, it's either XRP can break out from here, or we have an inverse setup. I don't have any relaxation. But it could be inverse setup here. But if it's not, if it can break out of here without coming back down to the 2018 resistance, Julie is correct.
What?
About my relaxation. I should have had it.
How dare you?
I know I didn't roll one. How dare me? It's okay. I'm in my... It's my chair and it's my backyard. If I want to moon my own backyard, I will. I know. And I'm the only one back here. So embrace it. XRP, though, has what could be interpreted as what could be the start of this W reversal here. But we'll see. We shall see. I would like to believe XRP is going to do this. Would I be surprised if it did? Not necessarily, just because it's XRP and it likes to taunt us with these things and then slash our throats. But it does seem ominous that we wouldn't at least make this finished. Finish this. It's the new. Yes, that's right. It's the new term for the moon coin. We're trying to do anything to give inspiration here. But no, XRP certainly came down to the consolidation zone, and it held here. So it feels like we want to come up to this next layer, but I still keep my mind open in case it breaks down here, understand why it would, and what could actually be happening here. So, but we got a lot of reading to do that might end up bringing some of this together. Syrian, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3 months plus with the XRP Meteor and being a very trusted mod as well, and in here most days. Love it. Love it. XRPH looks pretty juicy as well. Yeah, it actually had a very nice consolidation, and it was attempting its own very big move here. And we came up to the top of the formation, so we weren't unaware of that. We thought when we talked yesterday that that's what we were working up to again. And now it's one of those things, can we break over the top? I'm getting rid of this 3.9, but can we get over the top and get up to that 494 next? Seems like we're building something here. We are stuck within the top end of this region right now, so we will definitely see. I'm very intrigued to see how this plays out as a as an investor within that project as well. So, we got so much reading to do. We've got reading to do here, folks. And I don't think it's going to be I don't think there's going to be too many people here this evening, but I think there'll be enough. So this is big news here, but I'm going to save this until a little bit later. The second largest private bank in Turkey now supports XRP. I didn't put that in the title because I wanted to go a different direction in my title, but I also don't want to see how many people are watching until after 7. So, you know, I'll sit out in limbo for a minute. But, well, this is one thing that we can look at if it's going to take a bearish turn. But this is just so that we, even though we feel very optimistic here, I like to make sure that we keep both sides of the fence open. You know, I like to make sure we keep both options, you know, in front of us, because just because it's looking good, XRP still hasn't got out in front of this very key area that could get us up to that technical target. We've not come past that 60-cent zone. So that's something we got to watch here and make sure that we don't slip back in here. And this is just a fake out here. And because Bitcoin's already made its move, if Bitcoin were to correct back down, you know, that could leave us in the interesting spot here. Bitcoin still needs to make sure it holds the 64,930 area. That's a very key level to assure that we didn't fake ourselves out here, because it still appears to me, as we've been saying for the better part of a week here, 68,900, which I feel like we're in a megaphone pattern here, and it's on a cup and handle. So this handle's created like a megaphone formation. It's very bullish. The only thing is if it doesn't get out of here, and this is a little off, if it doesn't get out of this region, then it could find its way back down at 47,000 area. If we get a rejection, it looks bullish here though in the weekly. That weekly candle looks nice. It looks like we broke into a bullish proposition. So I don't see any reason why, especially at the start of the week, why we wouldn't get up to 68,907. Even last week. But we built a very bullish cup here, folks. And if you don't know what that means in technical analysis, that is the most bullish formation you're going to have set up. XRP also has a cup and handle filled. It's just we're trying to break out of the handle resistance on XRP, and we're trying to break out of the handle resistance on Bitcoin, just at very different levels here. In Bitcoin, the technical target, if you take the base of this cup, and I haven't done it on this chart, but we will. Oh, we absolutely will, because I used to have a different chart, but I decided I wanted to use something different because I was getting bored of it. Even though it was still relevant and yada, 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 I wanted to look at it from a slightly different angle and get rid of some of the, you know, the nonsense. So if we look at this objectively, let's just say, because once you break out of the handle, this is where you could measure it from. If you measure the base of the cup, the technical target, and this isn't for views, this isn't nonsense, this isn't bullshit. This is just taking the technical cup. And if you take the technical cup, you measure the base of that cup. It's a very big base. Now, what could make everybody even more like, holy shit? Like, look at the size of that, and then look at the potential breakout. Like, I'm not trying to sell anything here, because I think a lot of people don't want to watch me anyhow, because I'm a truther when it comes to the charts. But being a truther, you get to see the good and the bad. When it's bearish, it's bearish. When it's bullish, it can be so super bullish. And this could be spectacular. Just like in Seinfeld back in the day when they said, when she told Jerry, they're real and they're spectacular. Now, if this is real, this is going to be spectacular. And your portfolio is not going to feel something like this. Maybe ever again, what's going to come next. Because if Bitcoin really does make this next hug, and it's a cup and handle, that's a tailor-made cup and handle. You can see it in the weekly, and it's on a back end of a megaphone on the handle. And if that really is a megaphone that plays out, I mean, we are off to it's the fortuitous races. Now, the problem is we could come all the way back down 18,000 and come down to 47K, and this pattern could absolutely still be in, you know, the same rotation. That's the thing here. And everybody would cut the rope, and they would just say, I'm done with crypto if this happens. But, you know, there is a chance that can happen. I certainly hope it doesn't. I hope we just are done with the consolidations. and we can go. But that's why I show it from both sides all the time, so everybody can make an educated and informed decision. Alice Pond, welcome in, and thanks for being in your first month of Tom's Army with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. It is so motivating to see new members of Tom's Army. It allows me to know that my message is still getting out to the ones who are just now tuning in, or maybe just now starting to become familiar with what we do here. The ones who are multi-month members of Tom's Army, there is no greater inspiration than seeing somebody come back for a second month, a third month, a 6th month, 1 year, 2 years. Some of you are over 3 years in Tom's Army. To say that that's motivation in itself, it's unbelievable. Now, the biggest motivation for me to come here every day, besides all of you, is the fact that I've started something from March of 2021, and I've never missed a day since I started my channel on March 28th of 21. So, you know, that's 3.5+ years of being here every single day, no matter what. And there's been some heartbreak, heartache, and there's been some great times along the way. But I believe the consistency is in your response. So the consistency is the response. So if you keep showing up, you're going to breed a new response. The more you show up and respond, the more information you're going to know. The more you show up and respond and the information you get, now your portfolio starts growing. Why? Because you keep showing up, you start learning information, you learn, you grow, and now you can build your portfolio. Well, now because you've shown up, you're consistent, you've breeded the response, you've grown your portfolio, now you can sit back and watch as many others struggle in this great time of uncertainty. There's a very strong reason why I don't buy when it's over 40 cents. And that doesn't mean it's going to go back sub 40 cents. That just means the last 2 times it went sub 40, after I sold out in 21, I took advantage of it. And yes, there was significant profit in 24 as well, when we bought the XRP Bitcoin pairing. At least I did. Some of you followed along. I bought $5,000 worth, and that was a good 30% profit. That had nothing to do with my XRP holdings, but I did throw a couple thousand more in my cold wallet when it hit 38 cents. Don't kid yourself. I absolutely did that. But I like to swing trade on the side if it gives me an opportunity. If we moon, I'm buying gold and silver with all my... Hey! That's a message straight from my own heart. In 21, when I made about 14,000, about 12,000 after all the BS on XRP, I took 10,000, and you all know very well what I did. I waited till 22 when gold went down and had that epic crash, and silver, and I put a ton of money into gold and silver bullion. Not to mention, you all watch me buy $700 to $800 a month if I could swing it. It wasn't always swingable. I would buy silver every single month when it was under 20. Even when it got to about 23, 24, I was still doing it. So I buy precious metals with my profits. And some are like, Tom, you're the XRP future millionaire. It's certainly not going to happen with XRP. Are you sure? Realize that XRP profit now branched into gold at 1660 roughly, and silver around 14. That same gold and silver is now, the gold is not worth 1660 anymore. It's up $1,000 per ounce. The silver is not 14 bucks anymore, or 16 bucks. It's 32. If you would have kept that, and here's my point, if you would have kept that in XRP and just said, I'm going to hold it forever because it doesn't matter, mind you, I got back into XRP at 34 and 38. Also bought it at 28.5 and swung it at 44, the only time I was willing to do that to build capital. Then I rebought it at 34 and bought more at 38. Swung it a little bit from different purchases when it came back to 38. But mind you guys, that same $10,000 or $12,000 I invested from our profits in 21 into precious metals that are now up $1,000 per ounce on gold and $16 to $18 an ounce on silver, that money would be gone. Hear me out. For everybody who held through the cycle, I bought 2,000 more. Well, I've got about 5,000 or 6,000 more shares or tokens now than I did in 21. But I was able to buy them all back after selling at... So if you had 10,000 tokens, it would have cost $16,600 when I sold it. To rebuy it back, I paid $3,400 for the same 10,000. I mean, think about that. And then the rest, right? It would have cost you $16,600. I got 12 grand. And I had more profit than that because of the rest of the crypto I held. I had some XLM, I had some XDC, I had some V-Chain, ZIL, and DGB were most of my bag back then. So now you look at it, and now instead of losing all that money and having 10,000 shares and being like, oh, now I have 5,900, I was able to buy it back with a 13-cent less average than I had in 21, but still have all this precious metals. Now also, from profits made in 22 and 23, I started buying commodities with those profits. So now I have over 3,000 shares of B2 Gold, as most of you know when I rebought it again in this year when I tried to show everybody, and I don't know how many people listen, but that was back at $2.42. Now it's at $3.33. You know, when I first bought it, it was worth about $6,200. Now it's over $10,000. That same buy. So, you know, all of this stuff adds up. There's just so much stuff here. Like, it makes my head spin. If people are actually listening, the position you're in with me right now, it doesn't feel like 21. There's just a little bit of breathing room. I don't feel the same as I did in 21. Yes, I'm still nervous that everything could go sideways. But as far as what I have at my disposal, I was in a much worse situation in 21. That's why more people should listen to me in 24. Because you've seen me build out of it. You've seen me show you how to branch it out. Now, one person in my audience today has echoed that message. They've echoed that message and said, with any profit I have, I'm going to buy precious metals. But remember, you still keep the amount that you need to have for XRP, but you also have to have the foresight of where you're going to buy it back. My foresight was, I'm not buying it over 40 cents, and I don't give a rat's ass what happens. Even when it went to 52 cents and we seen the epic bounce back up to $1.20, I didn't buy XRP. What did I buy? I don't know if anybody will remember. Oh, I made a magical run. It starts with an M. I made an epic run with Matic because I didn't want to buy XRP. I didn't want to have that crutch of not wanting to sell it again when it got to where I needed it to. But there was others I wrote up with too. But you know, it's interesting. Adam says, Tom, I'm back on XRP. I was the one that sold my 93,000 coins I rebought on the dip the other day and have. Yes! All right. I remember it was a risky proposition just because where we were at. And I remember you sold a large amount. So it's not about selling way down. It's about you were just looking to add a few on there. And so 3,000 XRP you added. So folks, listen to this. By the trading strategy that he imposed, which was dangerous, mind you. 3,000 tokens, and some ask why people do this, right? Some do it for this simple reason. 3,000 tokens times 0.5, let's just say 59 cents. That's $1,700. $1,700 that Adam did not have to spend of his own money. Oh, I get that, Adam. I get that with how much, but I'm just saying, it managed to allow him $1,700 further investment. Now, it's very risky because it could have went dangerously wrong for him. You know, that's why I always say, you know, you got to understand what you're looking at. But I remember when you did it, and it wasn't the worst time to do it. And I just remember telling you to be cautious. But if there was a time to do it, you were going to have an opportunity. And we've seen that 57-cent drop even coming. So there was an opportunity, but it was a very small one at that as of right now. But you played it perfectly, my friend. You absolutely played it perfectly because you're back in now. So no matter what happens, even if it were to tank right now, you're back in where you want to be. Now, the one thing, like I said in my title, I'm not overly thinking that this is just 100% going to happen. That's a bearish 3-hour candle. Yes, I waited a long time to get to this point, but right now that's a bearish 3-hour candle. That looks more like a gravestone. Now, I'm quite intrigued because the last 3 hour was an inverted hammer, in my opinion, followed by a more traditional inverted hammer, the candle before that, but I think that's about an 80%, 75% inverted. Anyhow, so I'm not sure what's about to happen here. Yes, we're on the top side of 58.7, but despite Bitcoin having the rally today, we didn't even come close to 60. So it's I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's do some reading, because what I do know is we can do some reading, and let's see how many people joined us this evening. Whew. Certainly wasn't expecting 98. Okay. Good to know that 98 of you still have the guts, the tenacity, and the testicular fortitude to show up even when most won't. please make sure to hit that like button, as we're just slightly over half have hit that like button. It does help. I'm not gonna beg or plead. I'm just gonna say, if you want me to be able to keep the lights on around here, you're gonna have to hit the like button, because that allows more people to come in here, and that's what flows traffic. The newer members and the older members that are watching allow YouTube to push my content, because they see an ability to fleece, heist, and shiest others through advertised revenue. So that's why they'll expand my content if more people hit the like button, because they find a way to target. You know, they got to add revenue some way. They got to give you guys some kind of advertisement. So XRP price targets 55 cents as bearish market signals intensify. So Ripple's XRP price is showing signs of a potential retracement. Despite recent bullish momentum, weakening market signals suggest that the altcoin may struggle to maintain its upward trajectory in the short term. Yes, don't forget to subscribe as well, as we're over 23,000, almost 600 subscribers now. It's pretty incredible to think that. This analysis examines the cooling sentiment around XRP, the factors driving this shift, and what investors can expect as the asset faces a possible price correction. And even though we were talking about how it could go so bullish, I still got to keep us sane. I got to keep us on the right track, because as much as I want it to go bullish, I still see a lot of bearish signals here that are trying to pop up. But so we want to make sure that we're not falling off here, and we want to make sure that we catch a divergence before it happens, which we already know the targets. If we come down below that 58.8, that's the first signal right now that that's a problem, or 58.7 in current times. So according to the sentiment data, XRP's price daily active addresses, DAA, divergence dropped to minus 74.46% today. The price DAA shows if user participation on a blockchain is increasing with the price or otherwise. When the indicator increases and is positive, network activity rises, which could serve as a buy signal. On the other hand, a decreasing price DAA is a sell signal, because it indicates a drop in user engagement, and that's daily active addresses, so that would not be necessarily a good thing. If this is the case, while the price increases, it means the uptrend is weak. Considering XRP's current condition, the price could decrease if it remains the same. Maddie says, I love the real talk, or your real talk is motivating. I love it. Even if I don't catch the live streams, I still look for your videos. One, I appreciate that, and thank you, Maddie. All this is motivating to me, reading all your guys' stuff. Tanya, welcome in, love, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge, and we will certainly look at HBAR for you once we get back on the charts. The Money Flow Index, MFI, is another indicator suggesting, and it went over 6 cents too. My goodness. My goodness. I think I said hi to CJ2 Pilot, but just in case I didn't, thank you, CJ2 Pilot, for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XP Predictor. So the Money Flow Index, the MFI, is another indicator suggesting a potential drop. The MFI helps investors access the flow of money in and out of cryptocurrency. When the Money Flow Index increases, it shows that more money is flowing into an asset, signaling increased buying pressure. Conversely, a decrease in the MFI indicates an outflow of liquidity, reflecting selling pressure. Wow, Juan, thank you so much for the $10 donation. You are incredibly generous, my friend. That's the second donation of this live. That's incredible. I love so much some of you that do support my work and aren't afraid to use your pocketbook to do it. Like, seriously, it really means a lot to me. Julie, welcome in, and thank you, my love, for being in Tom's Army for well over 3 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. I mean, the XRP Diamond Hands Badge, my bad. The XRP Diamond Hands Badge. And that's my significant other. Some of you know, some of you now do. OMC with the $10 donation as well. What is going on here? Hey, Tom, I took a break for a bit, but I'm back. XRP strong, and others, my bags are still full. Yes, I'm glad to see you back here, and thank you so much for the $10 donation. I remember your name from way back in the day. Like, we're talking 21 move, I believe you were here from. If I'm not mistaken, I believe you were here in 21. Am I wrong, OMC? I feel like you were here during that initial run. I remember that name. Unless I remember 22, but I swear I remember you from 21. That's like a way back. That's like a name from the Wayback Machine. Holy smokes. Well, I started in 21, March of 21. So you were here from the beginning nonetheless. It was close enough to 2020. You were thinking about me in 2020, see? You knew I was coming. You knew I'd be here just a few short months later. At press time, the MFI has fallen from 81.54 to 65.54, reinforcing the signal reflected by the price daily active addresses divergence. On the daily price, or on the daily chart, XRP price prediction, correction season. Well, what do we always say about correction season? By the time you start seeing the pumpkins, Lord have mercy, something special is just in the horizon. Just in the horizon. And the old pumpkin season is coming. Oh, yes, back off the old family jewels, indeed. We're sending Tom to the moon. We're going to get there one way or the other. Some say I'll get to the moon by having hot air. Some say I'll never get there because of the, you know, why we couldn't get to the moon, but, you know, some do, some don't. What is blocking us from getting there? There's some pesky thing blocking us from getting any deeper or any higher. What would that be? See if one person in the audience knows. On the daily chart, Being Crypto observed that the 60-cent region is a major supply region. Supply region? Supply reason? That... I'm sorry, is 60 cents the supply zone? Or is it the sell zone right now? I feel like the supply zone is 52 cents right now. Am I out of my mind? I don't know, I might be out of my mind. Yeah, the rising channel is absolutely holding us back. Absolutely holding us back. And it's one thing because we're bouncing in between because we got over the 2018 resistance on that very long pattern consolidation. The problem is we've got this Cupman handle at 60.33. And then we've also got the rising channel aforementioned by a member in our audience at 63.97 cents. And that's a big problem because that rising channel resistance, once we fell below that, we had a nice 40% correction. Now it's our job to get back above. And in order to do that, we got to get past this falling channel / cup and handle resistance. And now what was a support, the first resistance of 2 on this rising channel. 88's way up there, but that's what we could open the door for. But we're painfully below that area right now. So until we get above it, and we got to go back to some more reading, but I want to cover this for Tanya because I have a feeling this is going to get away from me. And it's already been 32 minutes. So let's do this while I can. HBAR, since a lot of people leave when we go through the actual news, which is awesome. It's amazing. I would want to know what I'm investing in. But I guess the HBAR up 4.68% to 6.125 cents. This is the best channel, says Saint Street. I appreciate that, Saint. And, you know, we may sometimes struggle to get people to come and watch. I mean, I've built a nice loyal following, but what I mean is the onlooker who hasn't been in here before, they might struggle to come in here that first time, and there's no doubt about that. But, you know, a lot of people don't want to know the good and the bad. They just want to know the super good. They want to know the speculation, and they don't want to know about anything that's bad. They just want to know what's good. But we've definitely got a nice move pending. That's well, not even pending. It's in process here. This is where we target. I don't know why this line's gone, but we had this out before if it ended up breaking true. And there was a buy signal here. It was amazing. It was amazing here. And I know a lot of people took advantage of this. And I targeted this so I didn't just do that out of my house. I knew what we were looking at. And the fact that we started breaking up. I mean, we have an upward momentous target at 12.4 cents sometime in the future up here, 12.5. But we've got to get past 7.5. That's a technical target here after this consolidation, this short-term consolidation. And I'm intrigued here for HBAR. I really, really am. I mean, that was a massive consolidation. And anybody who bought it down here, that could be the foreseeable future floor here. It could be the all-time floor if we don't break through it. We don't know. So... but that was a massive consolidation, and we've got a massive rally potentially. Hey! Loyal City Talent. This is Adam Z. Couldn't send money on my other account. It's amazing that it wouldn't let you send on the other account, but it would let you send on this one for a 10th time. I wonder if it's because you send money on this account, it won't let you send on the other one. I don't know. But he says on my other account, appreciate all you do. Love how you show the bullish and bearish TA. Keeps us grounded. Absolutely. And thank you for not only the $5 donation, but for it being your 10th time donating. That's incredible. I can't think of very many that have donated one time, as let alone 10. I get about 0.5% of my audience who's ever sent a donation, which doesn't sound like a lot. But if you think about it, we have over 23,000 people that subscribe to the channel. So if 0.5% have sent something, that's something. Let's see. So we've got this. Please don't take negatively. You know I love you, brother. Just having fun. Moon times two. Hey, I keep talking about the full moon presented here this evening. That's what we want to hear. You know? As it turns out, I was presenting a full moon as well. But look, now we're starting to slip down here a little bit. This is where it becomes dangerous. See, I'm not sugarcoating it, because I'm not going to lie to everybody and make you think that it's 100% guaranteed, because it's certainly not. Now, if we want this to hold, 58.7 is where, it's a little bit lower. 58 points, about 58.7 is what we've got to hold. There's no doubt about that. And if we can get a nice bullish bounce here, we'll be fine. It's just, I've drawn this out for a reason. It's not because I like to draw or I'm good at it. It's because it's a possibility, a better than not possibility, that if we need to come back down, we could create an inverse pattern here on the right arm. I don't want it to come down there, but I'm certainly not going to act like it can't happen. If it slips down to 50, Roy says he's buying. Excellent. Roy, welcome in as well. Glad to see you in here, my friend. Very glad to see you in here, in fact. We got more reading to do, folks, so don't think we're past that yet, but we're at an interesting time. Bitcoin, member 64,937 is key. If we can get on top of that and hold, we're coming up to 68,907. If we don't, man, oh man, could it make it, could be interesting. 2 moons next week, there very well might be. It depends on many different circumstances, but we definitely are having 2 moons out in the sky too, so it's not just around this community having 2 moons. You know, it's actually big things are happening. Like, there's some weird stuff that's going to happen in October. If there was ever a condition for werewolves, it would be this October. Jorge! Holy shit! Oh, holy smokes! If you want to know if your influence is working, or if you're still making your point hit home, Jorge's been in the audience for some time, and the fact that he has joined Tom's Army for month 1, I must be doing something right. Jorge couldn't resist any longer, says, the hell with this, I am not going to be on the outside anymore. I'm going to support this fine gentleman, if for no other reason the fact that he shows up every day, and he doesn't care about making fun of himself. Thank you, Jorge, for being in your first month of Tom's Army with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. And sure as the ground I'm sitting here and the moon I'm sharing, that's my face superimposed on that emoji badge. You know, we might really have to have the 4-year moon badge, but nobody's going to want to see that. We've already got the XRP 589 moon badge, so do we want to see XRP Future Millionaires moon badge? I don't know. I'm not so sure about that. That might have to be for the OnlyFans page. Currently, XRP's price appears to be inching toward that point. This suggests that the altcoin might face rejection at the level again, even though it seems to have strong support at 50 cents. The last time XRP faced rejection at this point, the price decreased to 52 cents. While the price might not experience, I appreciate that so much, Jorge. I know you have been wanting to join for a long time. I know. You've been very vocal and you've been very supportive nonetheless. So that just, it hit me a certain way. You've literally made me the happiest person in the world today. And that saying doesn't go lightly. Like, when I see somebody join Tom's Army, especially when I'm in a live, holy moly. It hits me a certain kind of way. It's a certain kind of spectacular. The Fibonacci retracement indicator suggests that XRP could drop to 55 in the short term, which is interesting because the September 8th uptrend right now, that support sits at about 55 and some change in current times. So that's an interesting spot for the Fibonacci. However, if bulls manage to push XRP above the 60-cent resistance, this forecast could be invalidated, potentially sending the price to 66 cents. So I ask you, would you rather see articles like this and what I end up showing you as we go forward, like XRP and SEC appeal strategy The SEC's appeal strategy unveiled by former Securities and Exchange Commission lawyer as October deadline appeal. So their approach is, that's definitely good information. We got to still read through the second largest private bank in Turkey now supports XRP. Also big information. Or would you like me to go through and do what my constituents do? $1,000 per XRP. Let's see what else my constituents would read. Oh, I already know the other one. XRP 10,000%. Sees it soaring 10,000%. 650x surge coming. You know, XRP could be 1 million if it, in theory, if it ignites. Because the 1 million talks ignite, because if XRP's pegged RLUSD 1-to-1, yada, yada, yada. You know, that, would you rather see that or would you rather see the real news? That's what you'll have to decide if you want to watch me. It takes a lot to go through all of this. Since I'm getting so many requests to sing this evening, ladies and gentlemen, when the market's uncertain, when we don't know exactly what the hell is really going to happen, when the whales, Ripple, and even the CEOs and the creators themselves are trying to dump, and everything's moving, Tanya is going to have to plug her ears because they might bleed here, and she still hasn't got her dollar yet, and she's got to listen to this song. By God, she's asking, can I please get this dreadful dollar before this man sings again? But ladies and gentlemen, your fears are in doubt. When you don't know if XRP is going to achieve what you want, or if you've been fleeced, heisted, and shysted out of oblivion, and now you can't afford it, we end up looking at this. My daughter is sleeping, so so ladies and gentlemen, the sunny days are here again. Oh, sunny days. Oh, what a day. Oh, sunny days. Oh, what a day. I wear glasses 'cause I can't see a motherfucking thing. Happy days. Oh, happy days. Oh, what a day. Oh, happy days. Oh, what a day. XRP will reign supreme. Let's just not get caught in the FUD. Oh, we're gonna crash and we did and we will and we won't and we may and we will and we don't know. Oh, yeah. Stay true. Watch all. Ripple selling. So is Larson. Dun, dun, dun. But yeah. So, and remember what we've got coming up here at the end of the month. We've got, in 5 days, oh yes, it's that special time that each and every one of us have enjoyed for the last 4+ fucking years. They dump 1 billion XRP onto the market. Fortunately for us, they only leave about 30% of that in circulation so that they can, yes, you've guessed it, dump it at a future time back on us or lock it up for what I think is really going on when they do these escrow dumps and then relock up 80% of it in a genius type of way. You know what they do with that? They now can sell it off the markets to, who's that? That's right, the big business, the institutions. So, you know, that's where we're sitting right now. How's it going, Mom?
It's good, Gabe. Are you almost done?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end this in a minute because my mom's here. Actually, I'm going to end this now, I think.
Aw,
And then we're going to go into some more reading. I'll probably do an update later, but my mom's here, so I'm going to let you all go. Have a blessed evening. Thank you all for the support. We got about 45 minutes here together. But, you know, I don't get to see my mom all the time, so we are going to do this. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a blessed evening, everybody. We've still got more reading to do, so somehow, some way, I'm going to release these two at some point. So, but there's good news to be said, and still a lot of stuff to be watched. So pay attention, and I will see you guys later. Have a blessed evening, and thank you.